Hey, let's throw out the Haven Lifeline and tackle some of life's most important questions. Our friends at Haven Life Insurance Agency, they put what you value first.
Humility. Self-aggrandizing. Those are two opposite things, I guess, right?
What is it? Remember that song from the 1970s? The
Nope.
one it's hard to be humble when you're perfect in every way. Do you remember that song?
It sounds like your theme song, but no.
No, you don't remember that song anyway.
Of course, I don't. I was barely alive in the 70s.
It doesn't matter. You've heard the Beatles before, and you weren't there.
Not on purpose.
It's actually your loved ones and your time, and that's why they made buying quality term life insurance actually simple. Head to stackingbenjamins.com/havenlife now, and you'll get a free quote. Of course, affordable prices, policies issued by their parent company, Mass Mutual, so you know it's not Joe's
Insuranceco.com.
Yeah, right. stackingbenjamins.com / it is / Haven Life.
2007 called.
Today
they want their URLs back.
They want their analogy.
http://
Today we're throwing out the
www.
Today we're throwing out the Haven Lifeline to this guy.
Recorded from my 7th floor apartment. It's my question. I'm SB caller Daniel, and have you ever wanted to steal like an artist? Sure you have. Today's headline's about a mid-40s couple who don't believe in RE, but are near an FI and are planning to drastically reduce their income next year. Yeah, this guy will never stop working. In our TikTok moment, we'll also hear about this same couple getting RSUs from a large tech company up here in the Pacific Northwest. We'll also throw out the Haven Lifeline to answer, is it better to sell to cover or pay the taxes out of pocket now and sell them as needed later in the year? Or sell all now and put it in a high-yield savings account? Ha! Do those even exist? We won't have time for trivia, but the answer is XL. Not because of the guns, but because of the gut. Can't wait for dessert.
You want to play that applause again that we just played?
Yeah, I think that's probably the winner. That's the winner of the year in terms of effort.
I feel bad though for other people because it doesn't have to be that hard. Like, don't think you've got to be all creative. We went through a period.
Hey, it's Bill from Nebraska. Here's my question.
Yes, I felt like people didn't send us messages because they got super creative, but that's the one.
I'm also kind of curious how long that actually took to throw together.
Yeah, there was no throwing that together. That was pretty badass. If he did that, yeah, that's good. Doug, watch out. There's a new sheriff in town. I think it's Daniel. So, Daniel, contract in the mail. We're going to pay you double what we pay Doug.
Pay you the same amount.
No, we'll pay him triple.
All right.
Heck, we'll pay him 8 times.
So I think I figured out the question in there. So really close to being financially independent. They want to not going to retire, but do want to kind of take a step back, which is super cool. That's one of the things about, I think as this fire thing evolves, as it continues to, people experiment with different things along the way. I was having a conversation this week about this concept, and I'm like, if you retire when you're 47 and all your friends are 47, unless all your friends are also going to retire, what the heck are you going to do every day? You can't just say, hey, why don't you, hey, let's go to Spain for the month. Oh, it's just me, because everybody's like, well, I got to work, unless you brought a group of people with you, or if you have kids and that sort of stuff. So I think, as this continues to evolve, one of the things that we're going to see is people who buy themselves the ability to have more choice along the way. Like, hey, I don't want to work 40 hours anymore. I want all my Fridays off, and I'll hold out until I find that deal somewhere. I'll work for this big tech company in the Pacific Northwest. That'll be fantastic, but I'm going to work 20 hours a week, and you guys are going to pay me for working 20 hours a week. I'm not trying to, pull one over on anybody, but that's where I am in my life. I want 20 hours of work, and I want 40 hours of free time, with family time, whatever. So, anyways, congratulations on all those things. It sounds like the question is, when I've got RSUs, how do I deal with the tax? Is that the question that you got out of there too?
Yes. Should he sell to cover, or should he sell and diversify?
Well, so a couple of things first. So restricted shares are like a bonus, right? RSUs, restricted share units, is what that stands for. So if you have, if you work for a company, usually it's tech companies, but there's other companies that give out RSUs as compensation. It's kind of part of your comp, right? You make $100,000 a year and they give you 2,000 RSUs. Usually what happens is those RSUs will vest over a period of time. Like you get 2,000 a day, Joe, but you really get 500 in a year from now. And then 500 a year after that, and 500 a year after that, and 500 a year after that. A little bit of golden handcuffs, right? We want you to hang out. If you work there long enough, eventually you start earning those every year and they start coming due every year and you get a bit more and more. So let's say that you've got $500 or 500 shares and they vest on December the 15th, right? Usually the company who handles it, E-Trade, Morgan Stanley, there's a couple others, but those are the biggest two, that will automatically remove a percent of those shares from your account, usually like 25%. So you have 500 shares at vest. You'll wake up on the 15th and sometime thereafter it'll say, yeah, you have 375 that are yours. Because we took 125 to send to the government on your behalf, because the day that they vest is the day that you pay the taxes. That's when it's earned. So, let's say that you're working for XYZ company and it's trading for $100 a share. You have 500 shares that vest today. That's $50,000. They're going to send to the government on your behalf $12,500. That's 25% of that. And then you have the other 375 shares. You can do whatever you want with them. Most people, because as you start accumulating RSUs, you get more and more, you get promoted, you get bigger and bigger compensation. You might have non-qualified options or incentive options or other sorts of stock-based compensation. Most people will sell their RSUs as soon as they vest. And the reason for that is for the diversification piece, but also think of it this way. This is part of your comp, right? They said, hey, Joe, you make $100,000 a year. It's fantastic. We think you did a good job. We'd also like to give you a $50,000 bonus, but we're not going to give it to you today. We're going to give it to you next year at this time. And so when you get that, imagine your boss walked into your office and said, hey, Joe, you did a great job. Here's a check for $50,000. We withheld 12 and a half of that for taxes. You got 37.5. Congratulations. My question is, would you then go, you know what I should do? Dump all this into company stock right now? Probably not, right? You'd say, well, I'll just put it in my regular investment portfolio.
Yeah, which would be prefab, cool yurt type houses in Utah Basin.
Yes, that or a diversified low-cost passive investment portfolio.
One of the other.
Same, but different. Same, but different. So because it's part of your cash compensation, I'm of the opinion that you sell the RSUs as soon as they vest. Now you might say, well, yeah, but earnings are next week, and shouldn't I wait? Because I think we're going to... Okay, fine. You know more about boots on the ground of your company than I could possibly in 100 lifetimes. So if you want to play that game, go ahead. If you do keep your RSUs past their vesting, every dollar that it makes beyond that is going to be taxed at regular capital gains rates. If it's short term, it's short term. If it's long term, it's long term. So, then you just got a 375 shares of ABC company in your portfolio. And if you pay taxes, however you pay them, whenever you sell it. So I would say the vast majority of people just sell right away. Now, the whole buy to cover, sell to cover taxes, whatever, that's usually for non-qualified options where, again, you're not trying to accumulate company stock. You're trying to cash out and diversify. That's generally the case because as you get more and more equity-based compensation, as you get promoted higher and higher up, more and more of your comp is going to be tied to the performance of the organization as a whole, ergo stock compensation. So 10% of your portfolio in your company stock, okay. 15, probably okay. 20, 25, 30. I mean, there was just this big headline the other day. The CEO of Microsoft dumped 500 million shares or something, $500 million worth. Probably had nothing to do with the pending capital gains tax in Washington State coming next year. But anyways, that to avoid an under diversification issue, probably sell as you go.
And the cool thing is because you're dealing in percentages, right? The amount of stock that you have, and let's say that it's Microsoft, since you brought it up, 25% of your portfolio, as you save more money, becomes a bigger number. Like you can hold on to more shares if you so desire. You know what I mean? 10% of $1 million,
sure,
way more.
Yeah,
and you're getting more exposure in straight shares, straight numbers as your portfolio, but in terms of risk to your whole boat sinking, it still remains the same.
Sure, but also consider the other side of that. As you really do climb in the organization, I mean, think senior VP level, executive level. You look at that compensation package for the guy who runs Disney or the guy who runs Microsoft or the guy who runs Apple, whatever their names are. Nobody can keep it straight. Then you look and it's like, yeah, they made $1 million of salary. It's nothing to sneeze at, but they made $72 million in Microsoft stock or whatever.
Yes,
whatever.
Right.
I mean, it's as it should be. Maybe not those numbers. I don't want to get into that argument, but if you're in charge of the whole organization, you should benefit. Your
performance-based incentive
should rise and fall based on the organization's
performance-based. Yeah.
Whether or not it should be 70 million. It's a topic for another day.
Speaking of performance, great performance by Daniel. Fantastic asking of the question. Good work there, my friend. And hey, we will send you a code so you can choose whatever size.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
Whatever size you want.
If you want.
But congratulations on building the gut, because I know with mine that took some work. So congratulations.